recommending some investment in CX or customer centricity? Hopefully that's everybody in the room. Otherwise, I think you're in the wrong room. Okay, now, keep your hand raised if your company is investing more in CX today than it used to maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Again, I would hope that's everybody. Okay, last one. Keep your hand raised if you would be willing to stand up and say, my company is a truly customer-centric company now. Right. Companies are investing lots of money in customer centricity and customer experience. The level of investment is increasing over time. And yet we're not seeing the results that we want to see out of it. That's really the crux of the problem. So what we see in a lot of corporates is this. Global headquarters will say, hey, listen, we have a new product. Then they will reach out to local markets, regional markets, and they'll say, okay, we need somebody to put up their hand and be a project sponsor. This person then needs to go and figure out what's the go-to-market. Which geographies, which customer segments, how much should we charge for this product? Somebody's put together a spreadsheet that says, yep, here's how to launch the product. It's hypothesis driven and great. Okay, so we've made a bunch of decisions now. The product is set, where we're going to launch it, how we're going to make money from it. All of these decisions are made. And then you go and start to think about the customer experience. The product has already been decided. The business model has already been decided. The first time we even think about the customer is when it comes to the experience layer. All the decisions have been made. Maybe we can make an app, maybe we can make a great website. Really all we're doing at that stage is putting lipstick on a pig. Nobody cared what the customer needs were until we got to that experience layer. I'll tell you a story. This really came to life for me 2 days ago. I was standing at the lights. I was about to cross the road. And being lunchtime, there's obviously a lot of people coming out of their offices wearing suits. There's a group of people standing next to me. They're having a chat with each other. Clearly, they're going for lunch together. And all of them have a device in their hand. All of them, they're just chatting with each other. They're standing there doing this. And I looked at them thinking, what am I missing out on here? Is this a new fad? Is this a new dance move? What's going on? Why is everybody doing this? So I took a closer look. They were all holding a Fitbit. They'd taken their Fitbit off their wrist, and they were standing at the lights doing this. Can anyone guess what they were doing? Yeah, they're bumping up their numbers. They're cheating the system. And then I thought, why are they cheating? Are they in a competition with each other? Why are they cheating this? Why do they care so much about getting their steps up? Then it dawned on me, hang on a second. They all work in the same office. They all have the same Fitbit. They're on a corporate health plan. They're on a corporate health plan where their company has bought an insurance policy for them. And the more steps you get, as we know, with many of these offerings that are out there, the lower you can drive your premium. An insurance company says, hey, our customer promise is we're going to help you live a healthier, better, longer life. Okay, so here's a product. It's still a risk product. It's still an insurance product. But the business model is, if we can understand a little bit more data about you, we can shift the risk curve a little bit. Therefore, we can afford to give you a slight discount on your premium. So by the time it gets to the customer experience, this is what we get. Does this look like a customer experience or a promise that people have bought into? Are they in love with this? They're cheating the system. They don't care about this. They don't care about this product. If they can find it cheaper from your competitor, they'll go and do this with your competitor's product as well. The customer experience was not considered anywhere in the design of the product, in the business model of the product, and therefore, customers don't buy into how you're trying to help us live a healthier, better life. All they care about is, how do we drive down the premium? So that's a real problem. And we see this causes 3 sort of large symptoms in the industry. Number 1, as I said, customer needs aren't considered until the very end. If we're only considering the customer experience right at the end, best case scenario, we are only taking the customer needs into account in 30% of the overall value chain. Number 2, customer journey maps. Now here's a problem with customer journey maps that we see. The method is great, the output is great. Often what we see though is a big beautiful poster gets put up in the corporate headquarters, goes up on the wall, and it just becomes wallpaper. It's great to look at, but nobody does anything about it. Best case scenario, somebody says, okay, well we've identified maybe a few pain points. we're going to use those pain points to prioritize a 3-year roadmap of initiatives. They're probably initiatives you were going to do anyway. Maybe you reprioritized a little bit. But to be honest, that's not really taking the customer needs into account. It's a static poster, and all you did was reprioritize a 3-year roadmap. Customers don't think in 3-year roadmaps. They think in terms of the day-to-day experience. The third problem, therefore, becomes a really big one, and it goes back to my first point about investment. When execs don't see results from all of this investment that they're making in CX and customer centricity, they start to get burnt out. And we're seeing people in the C-suite come to us and say, no one in my organization can tell me what sort of returns I'm getting from it. And I'm not looking for an immediate financial return or a quarterly statement that says, here's the ROI on this investment. I understand customer centricity is a long-term game. But even then, it's not enough to just say, hey, it's a long-term game, therefore we're not going to measure it. Nobody is having an executive conversation about how do we actually make customer centricity a core part of our business, and how is that fundamentally shifting our business forward. I like to simplify things. Here's how I would simplify it. Don't just do things better, do better things. Don't just take what we have today and try and make small incremental improvements. Don't take an insurance product and just add this on top. We need to fundamentally think about how we're doing better things. How do we truly make a customer promise and then bring it to life throughout the entire